Question 17. Contractor hired Wema and Tatu to transport 144 tons of stones to building sites A and B. To transport 48 tons of stones for a distance of 28 kilometers, the contractor paid 24,000 Kenya shillings. Part A. Wema transported 96 tons of stones to site A, a distance of 96 kilometers. Part 1. Calculate the amount of money that was paid to Wema. Calculate the amount of money that was paid to Wema. So let's go to the statement. The contractor hired Wema and Tatu transport 144 tons of stones to sites A and B. To transport 48 tons. To transport 48 tons for a distance of 28 kilometers. The contractor paid 24,000 Kenyan shillings. Now from that statement, that is actually where we're going to use in order to get the amount paid to Wema for transporting 96 tons. So if for 48 tons, transporting 48 tons for a distance of 28 kilometers is paid 24,000, what about 96? What about transport 96 tons for a distance of 49 kilometers? So we're going to use rates of work and ratios here. So if for transporting 48 tons is paid 24,000, what about for transporting 96 tons? You notice the tons are increasing, so when the tons increase, the amount paid will increase in that ratio. So 48 tons increasing to 96 tons. So therefore, the amount paid is going to increase in the ratio 96 is to 48. Then we multiply by, let's go to the other one. So for transporting a distance of 28 kilometers, is paid 24,000. What about for transporting a distance of 49 kilometers? So notice that the distance is increasing from 28 kilometers to 49 kilometers. So the amount paid is also going to increase in the ratio 49 to 28. That is how the ratio is going to increase. And we multiply now by the amount, that is 24,000, in order to get the amount paid to Wema. So work out this one very fast using a calculator, and you'll get this will give 84,000 shillings. So that is the solution for the first part, the amount paid to Wema for transporting 96 tons for a distance of 49 kilometers. Part 2. For every 8 tons of stones Wema transported to site A, he spent 3,000 shillings. Calculate the profit Wema made. So for every 8 tons, transported, he spent 3,000. So what amount did he spend for transporting 96 tons? 96 tons. So because he's spending 3,000 for every 8 tons, we're going to take 98. Now to get the amount that is spent in total for 96 tons, we're going to take 96 divided by 8. And the reason we're doing that is because for every 8 tons, that is when he spends 3,000. So we multiply this one by 3,000. So when you multiply this one, you get he spent 36,000. That is the amount spent. Now we need to get the profit, calculate the profit. So how do you get the profit? For the profit, we're going to use the amount of money that was paid to Wema. Amount of money that was paid to Wema in part A, it was 84,000. So profit is equals to 84,000. Subtract the amount spent, transport, and that is 36,000. And this will give 48,000 shillings. Part B. Tatu transported the remaining 48 tons of stones to site B, a distance of 84 kilometers. if Tatu made 44% profit, calculate the amount of money Tatu spent to transport the stones. So when you look at this question, we're going to use the first part to get the amount of money paid to Tatu for transporting 48 tons for a distance of 84 kilometers. Remember, the contractor pays at this rate. And the first one here, there's this part here, to transport 48 tons, a distance of 28 kilometers, the contractor pays 24,000. That is what you're going to use. That is what is going to give us the amount of money paid to Tatu. So the contractor pays this. So for 48 tons, for a distance of 28 kilometers, 24,000 shillings is paid. So now we want to get the amount paid to Tatu for transporting 48 tons, a distance of 84 kilometers. So what amount? So for transporting 48 tons, that one, the ratio remains the same, 1:1. Transported 48 tons, and that one is paid at 24,000. So the ratio there will be 1, 48 divided by 48. Now for this part, for 28 kilometers, 24,000 is paid. So what about when the distance increases? So when the distance increases from 28 to 84, the amount paid increases in that ratio. 84:28. And then we multiply now by the amount paid. So this is what is going to give us the amount paid to Tatu. So when you multiply this one out, you'll get 72,000. So this is the amount that was paid to Tatu. Now, you're given that if Tatu made 44% profit, calculate the amount Tatu spent. That is the expenses spent on transporting the stone. So this one is inclusive of the profit, 72,000. And we are going to get the profit. So we shall get the profit by taking 44%, because this is the whole amount that was paid to Tatu. And this is the amount that you're going to use to get the profit. So we're going to get 44% of this amount paid to get the profit. So 44 times 72,000. This is going to give us the profit, and the profit here will be 31,680. 31,680. That is the profit. So now, to get the amount spent, we shall take the amount paid. Then we subtract the profit. The profit, which is that 31,680, and this is going to give us the amount spent or the expenses. So this will be 40,320. So that is the amount to spend to transport the stones. Part C. Determine the ratio of the profit made by Wema to that of by Tatu. So Wema to Tatu. Wema to Tatu, ratio of the profit. So we start with Wema. What profit was made by Wema? We have it in part 2. We got it in part 2 of the question as 48,000. So the profit was 48,000. Then for Tatu, we have the profit here. I've just calculated it, 31,680. So the ratio of the profit therefore will be 48,000 ratio 31,680. So what you need to do now is to simply divide this. You can divide this to simplify this ratio, 48,000 divided by 31,680. Write it in the simplest form, and this will give 50. Use a calculator. 50 is to 33 divided by 33. If you use a calculator to divide that to the simplest form possible, and this ratio will therefore be 50 is to 33. That is the ratio of the profit.